Hi everybody, I just want to thank you so much. I just finished an interview with Squawkbox, and before I get out of the chair, I wanted to say good morning and thank you and well done. You know, there's a lot of talk out there about the $600 versus the $2,000. Of course, we support families getting $2,000 or every individual getting $2,000, and we'll see what happens today with a vote on that. But yesterday, the president signed not only the coronavirus relief, but the omnibus funding bill so that our government doesn't shut down today. That's a really big deal, and it's because you stuck with it to the very end. So I want to just note what we did. We saved our jobs. People are getting recalled from furlough. This is not temporary. This is you are permanent employees. You are flight attendants. You are getting recalled. Those of you who have been out on furlough, you are getting recalled to your job. This is emergency relief, and everyone recognizes that there's going to be need to be more in recovery, so no one can say what happens on April 1st right now. We have several things going for us. We have an understanding that there needs to be more economic relief for the whole nation. We have a new president who will be inaugurated who says this is a priority for him and to have in place a plan to contain coronavirus. We have a vaccine, and now as we're recalling everyone and we're getting the resources to the airlines, we're going to be able to help distribute that vaccine and meet the demand. And so this is really extraordinary. We saved jobs, and we connected people back to healthcare. And we are the taxpayers. We are paying back into the economy and able to pay our rents. And as we've talked about many times, this is the best use of the public's money. And we're hoping that it can be used as a template for every other industry so that we can all recover together and so that we can help everyone who's out there struggling right now. But I wanted to let you know some of the other things that you helped secure in this coronavirus relief package. So, $286 billion in economic relief for workers and families. That is going through the direct checks and also the extended unemployment insurance. Remember all those people who fell off unemployment insurance on December 26th. They'll be reconnected and get that $300 plus up over the state benefits. And then we have $325 billion for small businesses. We have had restaurants and other businesses that have completely shuttered, have already had to close their doors. We need to stop the bleeding there. And this will get direct assistance to those small businesses in our towns and communities. And that is also a job supporter. There is $12 billion in, and I'm sorry, Democrats made sure also that there would be, that there can't be any discrimination in this, that there needs to be an attention to minority-owned businesses and make sure that there's equity within this process. We had $12 billion in support for community development, financial institutions, and minority depository institutions. So this is making sure that the vaccine is getting into all of our communities and that everyone has equal access to that. And transportation, not only did we save our jobs, but there's money for mass transportation. What we were looking at potentially is cutbacks in service with our subways and our buses and all of that transportation that is so necessary for people who are trying to get to work and trying to work these jobs, but need that transportation to get around. So we're gonna uphold those jobs and make sure that we've got that infrastructure in place. $69 billion for vaccines, testing, and tracing. So this is going to help distribute the vaccine. It's also going to allow us to procure enough vaccines to get it out to people, because until now the U.S. has not had enough on order in order to get our full population vaccinated. $82 billion for schools that have been suffering from coronavirus, and we don't need our schools shutting down. We don't need our children in unsafe conditions. This is pre-K through higher education, and this is going to support our children and our learning going forward, and also jobs. That's also about jobs. Every single one of these is about jobs. Rental assistance, for the first time ever, $25 billion in rental assistance for people who are at risk of falling out of their homes. This is the first ever in our history, and that was included in this deal. Nutrition and agriculture, $26 billion to make sure that people are not going hungry, to make sure that they can actually get nutritious food, and to support farmers and ranchers in this process as well. We secured funds for the post office to keep our United States Postal Service going. Not as much as is needed, but on the same scale with this emergency relief to make sure that we have that infrastructure as Americans and we have that equal access to shipping all throughout the country and around the world. $10 billion in childcare and supporting childcare so that people can actually work, so that people can actually have that support. This is part of our infrastructure, it's part of our care economy, and it's also part of making sure that this is not being felt by one gender more than another, or people who have to leave their jobs in order to take care of the children who are now at home. This is really important. $7 billion for broadband to make sure as we have kids who are staying at home and doing school from home and people who are trying to do their work through that connectivity, that we've actually got support in communities where that service is not so good. That's also good for our sisters and brothers in CWA in supporting those jobs. And a lot more. There's also the contractor pay extension. I could go actually on and on, but you did all of that. You not only secured our jobs and put us in a better place to argue forward that this should not be on workers' backs. This has to be a workers' first recovery. We have to rebuild an economy that is not in the place that it was before, where there was a jobs, wage, and healthcare crisis. We need to make sure that we're taking care of all people and that one job is enough to survive, provide for your family, have adequate access to health care, and be able to retire one day. And so this is not just about recovering from a pandemic. This is about really building back better and making sure that we're all able to contribute in this economy. We all do better when we all do better. So thank you so much. Again, this is emergency relief. We're going to be fighting for a lot more. And who knows what will happen? Maybe Congress will pass the $2,000 for direct payments today. That would be great. But thank you all so much. Keep fighting. And I'm going to take a little bit of a nap and check out a little bit so that we can recharge for what's next. Happy New Year, everybody, and stay safe.